Oh, let me turn on my camera. Ladies and gentlemen, good night, good evening, good morning to whatever time or place you are listening to this podcast. This is Controversial Topics, your host, Xavier the Doctor, Dario Dowie, and the Blacktivist himself, Bradshaw. How are you doing, gents?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of
Let me
starting,
get something quite near and dear to my heart.
starting a bit late, but more the
Yeah,
merrier.
no, I apologize for that. I don't even know how we even reach here, so not feeling.
But
Mm-hmm.
we had wanted to continue the conversation from last week. I think we're going to stray from that a bit because I think we really need to cement home this topic, and I want us to get a solution by the end of tonight. So, the legendary book that was written by Anne Rice, as we had come to expect, is going to be remastered in a sense, and unsurprisingly, it has a black lead, or the black lead is going to be playing one of the central characters from what I can understand. No, I don't know how many of you have actually read or seen the movie Interview with a Vampire, but let's just say it's left a lot of people, including myself and Bradshaw and even Dario,
Mm-hmm.
very pissed off, and for good reason. But we're going to try to be as nuanced as possible. We will allow the occasional rage, but we're trying to get to a solution where all parties can agree. So before we even get into the bit of it, the first talking point I wanted to go through was the continual destruction of original, fictional, and realistic material that is brought in media to please the selected masses. When I say selected masses, we all know who I'm speaking about. The higher ups in the world, the special kind of people who
Oh, shoot.
thinks they're so important more than everyone else. Um, I don't know how we got to this stage in life. I don't know where it went wrong because a few years back, probably early 2000s or even probably earlier than that, being different wasn't something that you garnered for attention.
Yes.
It wasn't something that was really a big deal. People were always different to each other, whether it's their skin color, sexual preferences, taste, and the list goes on. So I am quite baffled to understand where we, as living, breathing human beings, who claim we are the smartest species on this planet, where do we get off of thinking that representation in movies, specifically for black people, is such a divisive move to make? Like, I think what I'm trying to get at is, how do they get off thinking that this makes it better off for black people? Do they think that this is going to make up for years of continuous racism and slavery? Do they think that's going to replace the history and knowledge that our forefathers had? Or is it that they just don't care, want to get a quick cash grab and think that we're all so stupid that we're not going to recognize what they're trying to do?
I kind of believe it's a combination of both. Not only is it a cash grab, but I believe the heads of these huge companies. The moviegoers, people who truly ask for all of these quote unquote different versions. And it grieves me because they set the pace when it used to came to movies. So let me guess, they are done films for more than what, 30 years a certain way, a specific way. A way that everybody, including them themselves, quite aware. There's an old philosophy there. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Nobody else where to be fixed. Nobody's serious. Ask the 3/4 of them, quote unquote, fixes or update or remastering. A selective, almost invisible set of people that cause the problem. I'm not saying invisible people. I'm not talking like a dead body and no. Invisible in the sense that if it wasn't for how society is shaped, the way how society is right now being operated, them couldn't have so much chat. I think what I said.
I mean, very good points, Bradshaw. And the argument that they keep on trying to make is that it's equal for everyone, right? Now, maybe it is equal, but I don't remember ever watching a movie with a black lead and his skin color was the main point of the movie. Let me give you an example. I have never watched a Denzel Washington movie and thought the movie was good because it's a black man that's being the main lead. This notion that people want to see people who look like them represented, it's a complicated issue, but not for fictional media, in my opinion. If it's in the sporting world, that's a different argument completely. You get me? But in fictional media, something that does not exist in the real world, right? Unless you're portraying a real world issue, I fail to see how this brings about equality, because one movie is not going to stop modern day slavery. It's not stopping modern day racism. And it sure as hell isn't stopping shitty movies from being made. When did people really get off and stop enjoying movies for what they were? Entertainment. Is it the influx of cash that has corrupted our morals from what we used to be? Or is it that we live in a society that is so desensitized to what normalcy is that we no longer wish to be good about movies? We're just here taking up all the material and taking whatever cash we can while we still live. Y'all realize that cash now go to shit for you when you pass away, right?
Hello.
Hey, Trudy.
Good night.
So just to fill you in, not sure if you're aware, but we're talking about representation in like fictional media or movies in general. Mainly I focus on like black people, essentially.
Ah.
And because it has to do with a recent trailer that dropped for a specific movie, let's just say that Bradshaw and myself aren't exactly very pleased.
Talking about the fish.
No, sir. No, man. That's a part of it, but it's that one's not really as egregious. It's the interview with a vampire by Anne Rice. Yeah, they might try remake it into a movie.
Oh God, no. No, they're gonna destroy it. They're gonna ruin it. Why would you take something good and just shit on it? Why? Is it a hobby? I don't know.
So essentially, where the conversation is going from my perspective, right? I'm trying to find out where we as people are just humans in general. Where did we fall off of not enjoying movies for what they were anymore? Like, am I the only person who watches a movie and unless it has a deep message, I don't really want to know what the message is unless it directly correlates with what the movie is about?
I don't think so. No, because I feel that way too about movies. Like I will not watch just any movie. I don't like romance movies. I hate that. I hate the shit about a romance movie. Oh God, I hate it so much. It's a repetitive. My mom loves romance movies, and she would watch it, and I would tell her exactly what's going to happen before it happens in the movie. And she's like, "Have you watched this before?" And I'm like, "No, it's just that predictable. It's just that disgusting."
We don't bash on people who enjoy romance movies. I mean, if that's your thing, I mean, more power to you. Just that.
I don't bash on the people who watch it, but I'm like, it's so repetitive. How can you not get tired?
It's just tacky.
It's repetitive. It's not just tacky. It's repetitive.
And I think the reason why I hate it the most is because of what it represents to me about women.
I mean, there's no realism in it either. There's no realism in it.
Well, it's quite a thing where it's a fictional media doesn't need to have realism, but the minute that romance has to go down a certain path, you're like, oh my God, why? Such an interesting concept. But yeah, I just don't get. My biggest problem with this recent remake is like, why is I haven't finished completely the interview with the vampire. I'm still like in the early chapters, but why is one of the central characters in the whole thing black? Why is it that one of the central female characters in there is not represented how she is in the book? If you're trying to tell a different story, then let it be a different story. But because I know how sleazy and lazy you people are, I know it's going to be the same rehash story that was done already in a worse way.
I doubt it, because we're now in the woke culture, the woke era.
Hello.
Hold on, Bradshaw. Bradshaw, how long have you been trying to speak?
Like a good 5 minutes. You know something wrong when I'm not being acknowledged. So me say before me lose my shit. At least make them know say I'm trying to be here. Because I don't want to hear so, oh, you must have fallen asleep again.
No. I'm not going to say that. I mean, the person who actually said that, him drop asleep already. So.
Wow. Anywho. Because they say the sarcastic monster that beside you, me that way for her to unleash, but for some strange reason she's showing restraint. So shit, why not me capitalize while I still can? So so if I can give my 2 cents for what you say now, I believe
Sure. I
it.
mean, we have what 3 more topics to talk about it. I mean, sure, why not? Why not start it?
There's nothing beneficial from race swapping established characters, especially people who, if you read the source material, were chosen for that for a specific reason. It wasn't they were chosen because of the color of them skin. Anne Rice was writing to a certain demographic at that time. You understand me? And then again,
I mean, look at it this way. If it's representation black people want, there's a better way to get it other than
but again, like how do black people even get off of saying they want representation in movies when the same movies that they condemned in almost every household? Like, look here, I have heard and seen some of the most nonsensical things talk about these movies have the devil in it. I'm like, okay. And when said movie actually has you killing the devil, it's still a problem.
Sir, Yu-Gi-Oh cards were demonic. I was supposed to go to hell for playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, I remember those days.
I have yet to see Satan. I've yet to draw on a pentagram. I've yet to crawl up a wall back way. So again, yes, all people can be wrong. I mean, I haven't sacrificed any cats or dogs or puppies or to. And this was the mindset them believe. No, you laugh. This was the mindset.
No, I'm laughing because of how true it is.
I'm like, wow. Oh, you're on your demonic card. I'm like, how are they demonic? Well, because the church tell him that. Remember, the church are the same people that because them want your land and title back in the day. The Christian church, I don't want to try to go that direction there. The Christian church used to deem you a witch, a practice of black magic, just to kill it to take your property. That was how them used to get what them want. False accusations.
Well, I was one of those kids who believed that only weak ass, punk ass people would succumb to things like that.
I think so.
Because I've heard people seeing things and experiencing things, and I'm like, that shit never happened to me. Even as close as Kemar, that shit never happened to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who's broken, can't experience none of that shit.
What shit are we talking when you say experience?
I'm talking about like ghost stories.
Oh.
Seeing
The supernatural?
Yeah, the supernatural.
Because ultimately, the way how Anne Rice wrote the book, even though it was based around Louis, the main point of Louis' situation in the book is that Louis is losing it. As in, he's not going crazy. And that's how people understand. Louis was the head son by default. He was forced to do the job that he didn't want to do. And I find it ridiculous because if you're going to make Louis black, that means Louis' mother has...
Well, it defeats the whole purpose of his entire character. I haven't even...
It makes no sense because his mother and sister and brother, them are name of the one of them people there, but so if them logic makes sense, that means if Louis' mother even was white, that means the kids is an interracial. Oh my God! And don't get it twisted.
All right, I would accept if they were making a parody of the movie.
Yes, that's exactly what I said too. I said there's so many.
If you're gonna remake the movie, use the same characters, the same storyline, but just change the color of their skin. it will not make sense.
You could have started like they could have started like the original way and then spin it off. Them could have started the original way and then all of a sudden, unannounced to Louis and Lestat, there was a different new evil approaching that they did not see it happening. You understand? And then all of a sudden you just detract from the original level. Now you have a new story about, because like I said, she did not exclude the usage of African slaves. You understand? This was Louisiana in the 1940s, 1950s. Slavery was not a racial thing. Slavery was a, believe it or not, a custom thing. We can't explain this to most people. It's almost as if I'm dumb for being educated. Race, slavery.
No, we had all kinds of slaves. You know that in Jamaica we had Irish slaves, German slaves.
Yes.
I mean,
my father.
Not many people knew that.
Oh, hold on. You know where people get this wrong. You know where people get this wrong. People think that black people are going to enslave. I mean, do you people not remember that? Yo, there's a reason why countries like Ireland and them places around this, our neighbor England, still hate them. Yeah, apartheid. They were enslaved. The country never belonged to them. They have to fight for them rights and all that shit. People died.
They weren't acknowledged as human beings.
And the whole racial thing is they pit us against each other.
Yes, on purpose.
On purpose. And it's still living today because, you know, a lot of Jamaican people, everywhere I go, basically. Because even here, they do it too. They're like, they hate on the white people. They hate on the Asian people. I'm like, do they even know that they also used to be slaves alongside you?
Because you see, it's something that I did a study on back when. I looked at it and I said, yo, you know, black people just assume that everybody who has a milk complexion is just also free of everything. So you would be surprised the amount of shit other races go through here. That's why I'm not that.
What I was about to say, Jamaica, my fellow Jamaicans, be it local or abroad, try to get this to your head. I've met white homeless people. I mean, like the current. Even describe white. This man is 5'11", at least 5'11", baby blue eyes. You understand me? Pretty I am, and this man homeless, white man but homeless.
You sound like a malfunctioning robot. I just had to say it.
Now come. I'm heard. Hello?
Your mom was like,
oh yeah, sorry. I got shot because there are moments when we swear to God, say everybody in chat like that. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, we heard you. It was just like how do I explain this? A machine melting.
Oh. Those kind of things. Those kind of things. Anyways.
But yeah, while we move on, like black people specifically, right? Come a long way in this movie industry. But there's a certain running gag in certain genres, specifically horror, where, you know, the black person is always either one out of two things. Either a smart person who does everything and end up dead, or them dead first. At first it used to be an issue to me, you know, back in the younger days when you never have much sense. I used to have a problem.
I thought it was funny as hell.
But now that I look back on it,
I'm
that
sorry.
shit is so hilarious. Especially the way them dead. It's like that's not how a real black man dies. Like, no, I'm not going to sacrifice myself for them. No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna go risk my life out that skyscraper for her after she can't find the next man. What?
I was like, this man must not be black. He was not raised by black people. How can you do this?
Raised in the streets.
But no.
I mean, all right. I'll go as far as this, right, Bradshaw? So, Black Panther is like acclaimed as one of the best movies that people have ever seen to some people, right? And when I said it wasn't all that, people are appalled, like, how dare I? And I'm like, it wasn't all that to me. I mean, yeah, black man in a black African country and they have super technology which they hide from the world. And they were still, and you know the biggest takeaway I took from Black Panther overall though. Doesn't matter how black you are, you can still be racist to your own fucking people.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why Killmonger do what I'm doing. I mean, think about it, right?
Yep.
I mean, think about it, right? Killmonger, them literally outcast Killmonger father. And the man decided to say, yo, here, let me shake things up a bit. He still died. And I mean, yeah, it's a good movie, but you know, when a movie is just liked by everybody and you're just there, I say, I wasn't feeling it. But because it's played by a black character, you're supposed to.
Is it wrong that I was rooting for Killmonger? Because
look, you see, when you understand, no, you see, this is the thing. When a villain is written properly, you're going to always side with the villain.
Sure.
Killmonger is one of the best villains Marvel has ever done.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, Marvel has dropped the ball on a lot of villains. A lot.
A lot, and realize something. This fight is somewhat handled, like the whole concept that you need people to swap their race just to make them happy. Ironic as that may seem, that people actually don't like, but they white up the black. But what you can tell, like for example, everything that these people have tried to remake, remodel, revamp, it normally backfires because I look on stories like Pinocchio.
Oh Lord.
Come on, right? I watched the story plot and Pinocchio.
I didn't watch the new one.
Oh yeah, there's a new CGI version where
hell no. Hold
on. It didn't look bad visually. For me, I must say that. You know what? Which part of the story ticked me off? When they made Pinocchio non-sentient. Pinocchio movie was smoking cigars, drinking beer, you know, in the new version, Pinocchio is pathetic. Liam has more sense. Pinocchio had he had nothing about him. He was like Aladdin in a movie. He was just a figurehead. What the fuck you mean I thought? I'm sorry, but that's exactly what I felt. I'm so fucking hard that them upon us so hard. That them write the original people story out of them own story. So Pinocchio in the whole movie. Just like them say like I search Ian Ziel. And I said Pinocchio was so helpless in our own movie. We know it's an original movie. Pinocchio be disrespectful. He went to Pleasure Island. him smoke, him drink, and yeah, that's tripping accountability. Pinocchio turned into a bird. Pretty much victim and he's so helpless that you can hear this about an influencer. Yes, people. Pinocchio classic. They now put in the word influencer. Pinocchio can be all including quote unquote an influencer.
Well, maybe they were trying to make it more kid friendly.
Kid friendly, man. Hold on. No, hold on. Stop. Hold the phone. Oh, I remember very clearly the animated version. This hombre did get drunk, smoke literal weed, get high, I tell a lie, something children were told vividly not to do. This man cuss out his own father, and this was in the original animated version. No bad words were told, and we are looking at that and we say, wait, isn't this supposed to be a kid show? So, if that was shown to us at that tender age when we were younger, and them come talk about kid friendly, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Them pitney nowadays, they're more exposed to almost all manner of evil. Them can talk all them want about kid friendly. If them brazen enough to bring cross ideas to Disney and say, oh, you know, we should have 2 gay princes in a movie and put that on the green screen, that would be perfect. Nigga, what? Do you know how uncomfortable watching that movie will be with those kids and their parents? Much questions and we'll have to answer.
Yep.
Dad, why are they kissing each other? I mean, most of is it because you've seen it through your eyes that the princess always kiss the prince? When you see 2 prince star kiss, you're like, this does not compute. What is happening?
And a matter of compute, no sir, is what them a push. It's not a matter of what the people ask for.
No, and I talk about for we as the adults in a brother. I talk about for the little pity them.
Oh yes, you're right.
Remember say little pity them. Them always say the princess and the prince a kiss, and it's alright. They live happily ever after. Then they pity they say the 2 men a kiss. They're like, Dad, what's going on? Why are they kissing?
And that's the next thing most people never understand, right? They couldn't quite, all right. Those who never understand companionship back in those days. Companionship was we live together, we part together. Shoot, we probably all screw the same girls together. It's pretty much a bromance for life for them for the vampires in the book. But it was never sexual because what? What them describe the high, the insatiable high you get from drinking blood in the book. Like it's better than sex. It's better, and when I'm like, wow, because again, in the book, The Queen of the Dam, there were multiple stories that all intersect into the Queen appearing and the wake of destruction in our path when she wake up. And again, there were so many different stories in a fear book alone that they could just, like we say, but making a different story. It could be Interview with a Vampire, XXX, and they just put sub-story. And there were plenty in our book, over 15 stories that intersect to her coming to Lestat.
Yeah.
They could have, they didn't have to go this route. They really didn't. And then you can't say there was no other. No, that's bullshit.
So, hold on. If I recall, wasn't the original vampire, from Egypt, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, the original curse came from, and that's the next thing too. Her version of the story made, to me, more sense. It is an evil spirit. It was an evil spirit that she cast. The twin them, the original quote unquote witches, in the situation. They cast a spell on the queen and on her court. Everybody that was in that court got that spell as well. And unfortunately, when the queen and the king, but really the queen, get the curse, the king was just a ride or die. So, you know, the woman catch it, eventually must reach him too. But again, the queen was out of pocket in the whole story. She caused that. And even when, and I know it sounds real bad, but even when she realized what she did was wrong, her arrogance,
shit.
Her admit say she fucked up. She fucked up, but her arrogance, because she's queen, and like me say, it's like imposing your religion, like what the mother wokeism. They're imposing their beliefs on people, and then pretty much I do it by force. Well, that's exactly what she was doing. She was taking out art. She was coming in. She want her religion be embraced by her husband's people, which was Egypt. Back then, Egypt, and I know not certain parts of the world, this is still practiced. Yes, people, it may be barbaric, but it's real. Where the eldest child and the youngest child, the eldest will take the brain of the deceased, and the child will take the heart. And there was a ceremony, like a rite of passage, where the eldest ate the brain and the child ate the heart. A weird rite of passage, but it does exist. You understand? When we were in history class back in the day, Palinagos are the tying on that, the carrots. They used to do the same ritual. So again, this is something way back. You understand? So this is nothing new, nothing nuanced for these people, or to history for that matter. But yeah man, so she want to be the innovator, you know. She want to be the one to break this whole, as I sort of describe it, whole barbaric custom. And Martha, she never take a census. She just stay from far and start judge people. That's exactly what she did. She not asked how far this religion has come from. Is there any easier ways of breaking the people out of this, or maybe the nation will go a different route? But she did it by.
Give me a sec. I'll be right back.
No problem.
She did it by direct force. You understand? Direct force, where people were being executed, people were losing limbs and them things if they did choose to go this route. And when it all backfired, she picked the wrong ones. Long and short of it, she picked the wrong ones. And even when she did the most disrespectful thing you could do, she had them defiled in front of the court, raped, beaten, and she was trying to make a mockery of them. And again, it was twins, two sisters, right? One was trying to say, yo, let it go. Just let it go. You understand? There will be people who will never look one way the same way. So there's no way we can be offended that they think this way. One of the sisters was like, fuck that. This bitch needs to pay. And it was them that when, everything's said and done, they don't want to cast a judgment upon the queen. These are the rebellious one. And I don't think she did it intentionally, but her anger, and there was this wild spirit, right? There was a wild spirit, which is weird, but yeah, this is how the curse originally started. There was a dark spirit that was there when the queen was doing all of her evil. And because he feeds off of the evil of the queen, he started to speak to the other girl. You know? If the queen's arrogance making him this powerful, imagine these girls' hatred. Well, yes, these girls' hatred towards the queen. Oh, there's so many chances they could have went down. They could do a story, interview with a vampire, the origin of the vampire legacy. And remember, they could have went this route. They many different avenues they could have went with him if they use the book. Even the royal guard became a vampire. And because of the tradition system, he became one of the ancient vampires. The ones who can use pyrokinetic and literally explode your brain. So he doesn't even have to touch you. Just walking past you or having an unhappy thought or anger towards you, you will be set on fire. And I mean, put story writing. Jim went as far as explain that how common vampires, I mean, the one who get bite and learn to suck blood the first time, with a couple 100 years, you learn to fly on your own automatically. And I don't mean turn into a bat. You learn how to fly. The longer you're alive, you learn how to read people's mind through their blood. Yeah, just like all of that do. Yeah, blood, history happened to you, everything. She did that. So even Alucard have to pay homage to Anne Rice's vampire. Interview with a vampire, right?
Yep.
So them people are confused me, yo. Like the more and more I think about it, the more and more it rubbed me wrong. And I said, there's nobody, and I repeat, there's nobody black legitimately read the books wants them to be anything but what they are. And this is not a race loving thing or I like nasty. No, son, what's wrong with you? There's so many books out there that if you change the race of the person, the impact of the situation would not be the same. People keep saying, oh, white privilege, white privilege. This is where this artist rubbish is coming from. People really holding on to this white privilege bullshit so long that you can't give an opinion. It's not white privilege. Because if it was white privilege, all the people would have reached him at the first part of the movie. Wouldn't have happened. There would be a miracle solved. But let me guess, the man's father died, the farmers having issues. His brother became a super. Everybody knows what a religious zealous is, right?
Yep.
Okay. His little brother became a religious zealous. He lived in the observatory. That's their version of a mini church. A church. He lost his mind. And just thinks so hard. That's what I'm saying. That's the part of and I got Louis' frustration. I got Louis' frustration. And that's the part what most people don't understand. If you can read and if you have any form of life experience, you could relate to Louis' frustration. On one hand, he wants to be a brother. And on the other hand, he's the head of the plantation. He has so many demanding things. Louis was in turmoil. He was like, oh, about happy planter, and nothing bad was happening. He was just having a swell week, and then something bad happened to the rich, easy life, Louis. No, it wasn't like that. And a shit like this rubbed me the wrong way because thanks to wokeism and the way how things are now as a people, the simplest no. Right now, it can't be about
honestly.
no, because thanks how society is now, where I don't know, having an honest opinion now is considered toxic. having an honest opinion is now rooted in misogyny and bigotry. And a bag of fuckery where if you ask sometimes good stuff.
You know why I think they're trying to remake this though, although it's kind of obvious. Like when you mentioned that Lestat and Louis didn't have a sexual relationship. It was just that Lestat was just fucking around with him.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Somehow, I believe that these people, somehow from their perception, so they want to write it because I believe there's an AMC adaptation of Interview with a Vampire, which has black lead in it as well, playing Louis, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
It's quite I don't know if I can find the word to describe it. I haven't watched it, but there's a couple of clips on YouTube and it's so you people can't create something without having these people that are so dear to a lot of people's childhood hearts, without making it sexual. Like one of the main course of story writing, if I recall, my teacher taught me this. Not every character needs to have a special someone. Let me explain what that means. You can have your main character and the main love interest. Hell, if you want to throw in an extra piece and make it a love triangle, but be careful with that one, because love triangles can get out of hand. Twilight made it get out of hand because Twilight did a lot of bullshit.
Same Interview with a Vampire. If people read the book, there was somewhat of a love triangle between Louis, the young black girl who's going to be playing what's her name again? Louis' adopted daughter. What's her name again? I believe I called her name before. We would have see.
Claudia.
Claudia, my precious Claudia. May I tell you, man. And again, people, don't take this the wrong way. I have nothing against the remastering. Once the remastering made sense, you do not take good shit and remaster. You take poor shit and remaster. Like, for example, The Mask, The Second Son. Every Mask movie after the first one was garbage to me. Then there's the remaster. That's how you remaster some shit. Remaster bad movies. You don't remaster good movies. And there's something wrong with me for saying that out loud. I don't fucking understand that shit. I'm not saying nothing wrong. I'm not saying anything controversial. I'm just saying something that should have been common sense. Common sense, my boy. Nothing wrong with that. There's no shame. And again, I'm not nothing against the directors, the producers. My problem is the exec. The studio execs, them who signed off on this shit, that really believe that this shit made sense.
Yep.
I'm not nothing against the actors. I have nothing against production crew. You understand me? But come on, man. At some point, there must be a goddamn time again. There has to be a cutoff point. And that's the thing most people don't want to do. Nobody wants to. You understand? Everybody's right now. Yeah, even Amazon, right? Who produced The Rings of Power? Jeff Bezos, the man who runs Amazon, could have went any other route, but you know, wokeism is in. Being fucking woke is in. So, you know, show originality, show storytelling through the window. That's why right now Rings of Power is being dragged by every media outlet right now. I remember House of Dragon is out. House of Dragon is not perfect, but at least some, at least some of the goddamn story material was used. Some of the some of the story logic was used. Some of it was used, my boy. Some, not all, but at least. And that's what I say. If you're going to go this route, go the route smarter. Because I thought House of Dragons was going to flop. I thought House of Dragons was going to flop because at this point, Wagga wokeism fuck with me. Fucked up. Like I have no faith in wokeism no more. None whatsoever. I'm not care. People look at me funny like I've lost my mind, but tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I've gone wrong, doctor. Tell me which fucker me answer. And that me realize up here becomes a new trend where if you're right, you're made to be seen as crazy.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work, you're controversial.
Which can be a storyline for almost every apocalyptic movie that has ever been made. But you know, it's like I don't know. As a story writer, I just find it so distasteful. Like all my books have been led by, if I recall, well, the books that I focus the most on have had a black male lead, but that's only because that black male lead is representing what I am as a writer.
Exactly.
I have an anime book that, well, anime doesn't really have, like, you know, we don't really focus on collages too much because anime is basically like fantasy worlds. Yeah. But at the same time, most of my books are central to my skin color because it's what I'm trying to represent, not for my people, but just me as a writer. Most of the movie I try to force the narrative of a black person in it. Like, do you see? All right, there's no way in hell I can see a movie about a black person becoming king of England.
Yeah.
Not because it can't happen, but it just looks oh so strange, if that's the word I can use.
Because it's highly improbable. It's highly improbable. Enough people would say it's possible, maybe after 15 generations, or if you count Megan, that white black woman. Yes, and I'm not taking it back. That white black woman. If you consider she black, Harry white, you consider that white black bitch black.
I don't consider her black. That's the word white.
Have you seen this pale version of a black somebody? And I'm not trying to be discriminative or being racist or anything, but that is the most high-tone black I've ever seen in my entire life. The woman is like 90% black, 90% white. Nothing about her now. Like, even to into African, I want to be among my people. She look like a black. She look. Apart from my dress, is the second whitest thing from the whole fucking picture. And okay, apart from my dress, she had the second whitest thing in the entire picture. But the point me is this: I believe Anne Rice is dead. I need to Google. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the great Anne Rice is dead, because if she's not dead, I don't think this, unless them buy the property.
I think she had passed away in a retro. I think she passed away, last year.
It makes sense, you know.
She passed away. Yeah, she passed away last year, December. And I think if I remember correctly, because I was reading the article, I think she had given up the rights to somebody.
This is why I talk. So may I tell you people, when Interview with the Vampire, the movie was first being made, the woman did not feel comfortable with Tom Cruise playing Lestat. Master people, Tom Cruise back in the 90s was hot stuff. Brad Pitt was hot stuff. And exactly. And I'm like, what? Top Gun and Brad Pitt I remember this is Brad Pitt around this, it's not the same year, within the same time frame where he made Troy. Then I said Brad Pitt was Brad Pitt, yeah, talk about that stuff. You understand? So, and Anne Rice wasn't sure that Tom Cruise could play Lestat the way how she did right. And instead of him bring an emotional argument, give me a chance. What do you hate white people? What are you discriminating? No, you know what Tom did? Tom read the book on 4 different times and he purposely edit every piece of work dialogue involved. Let's start. The man became obsessed. Him read it, him perform it, him at the, and I won't lie. Tom Cruise did and she said it too. He did a great interpretation of Lestat compared to how she wrote him in the book. You understand?
And yet you have people out there. Yet you have people out there talk about how his performance was weak. I'm like, what the fuck are you people watching? Like, I'm generally concerned about some people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watched through the movie, right?
Yep.
The man stole the show.
Of course.
The man stole the show. I'm like, yo, why I feel like say, oh, this man was in character even when him off screen.
He was. He really was. Like I said, he had not only was he trying to land the role, because Anne Rice still had the power to say no.
Yep.
Instead of him folding and bitching and moaning, give me a chance. How you just give Brad Pitt the role? That's not fair. There's a reason why she never want to give him Lestat. Like you said, he stole the show. Lestat is the intricate pin that held Interview with the Vampire in place for a very long. You understand me? It was him.
Plus, Tom Cruise wasn't exactly known to play antagonistic roles, even now.
Thank you. He's always been seen to be the good guy.
Lestat is literally what Alucard is if Alucard wanted to be an asshole every 24/7.
Yeah.
The man does not give a shit. The man antagonizes people and he doesn't care how you feel. Tom Cruise at that point in time in his career was playing protagonist role, left, right, and center.
Yeah.
So
just like the way you dance, like for example, I tell everybody say, this when I make with Black Adam, even though when I go down the road here, this is him trying to show that he can play more than a good guy role.
And you know, I'm going to go off on a whim, even though we don't want to go down that road till the movie come out.
Yep.
I think he will give a good performance. I think what's going to really kill the movie though is all the nonsense that's going to be around him itself. Because we know DC, we know DC too well to know that it's going way too well. Why is that?
I mean,
remember feeling said that them have put all of their time and effort into the whole Black Adam versus Superman fight, and everything else is going to be, which is fine. I mean,
yeah. Well, I look forward to it, but I just hope it's
of course. I personally want Dwayne Johnson to shut up some of these assholes on the internet. Because honestly, I don't watch it, but none of them want it.
So far, like I said, the clips of him seem like he really committed to being that dude, that guy, bad man. But and even again, this is probably my last point on the whole Black Adam issue. I'm sure to what many people may or may not think, Black Adam is no pushover. No matter which alliteration you get of him.
Hold on, is that people are gonna forget? Like then again, yeah, people hate Superman for the least amount of reasons. So them are take the skills anyway. But the point that I'm trying to say is, Black Adam is Superman's physical counter. Like the two of them match off completely.
Very well.
Not Darkseid, not anybody else. Pound for pound, Black Adam even. But because Black Adam has the literal powers of a god, and we all know that magic is such a bitch to Superman, Black Adam is going to kick his ass. And he has repeatedly done so.
What level?
just because DC Comics doesn't focus on Black Adam like how them jerk off Batman and Superman so often doesn't mean he's weak. In every adaptation of Black Adam, he's always been the most strongest person on the planet, bar none. So, but then again, these are the same people who are going to tell you that Flash can beat Superman. So let us not even go there.
Yeah. And everybody keep telling me, "Oh, Flash can," and I'm like, but anyway, back to the movie because.
Yeah. I think the other point that I really wanted to focus on, I mean, we've been talking about the whole Interview with a Vampire for a while, so let's change it up a bit, even though we don't really want to talk about it, but it is a part of the crux of the issue. The Little Mermaid movie that is going to come out. Now, let me go off and say this again. Halle Berry, or Haley Berry, fantastic actor. She has a wonderful voice. I think she's going to kill her role as Ariel.
True.
My problem is, I know what Disney is trying to push. And because I know what Disney is trying to push, I already know the movie is going to be a disaster. Hell, we not even have to use the Little Mermaid trailer. We can go so far back as the Mulan movie when they remake, and they fucked it up. How? Yo.
No, because same like Star Wars. Princess Leia had to be the new Jedi trainer because patriarchy, men are oppressive. So someone who was never a Jedi or Force related in any way becomes her new teacher. Because Luke can't be her teacher because a woman is being oppressed by a man and all them fuckery there. Oh my God! They are fighting.
You have to know the funniest thing. It's not that George Lucas didn't want to make Leia she is Force sensitive. I mean, she is Anakin's daughter. Let's not get that twisted. But George Lucas said all time more. The production never have enough time to flesh out that part. And when they made the original movie Zine, that was never her role. You get me?
Yep.
She wasn't the Jedi that swooped in and saved the day. She was the diplomat.
That's her role.
You get me?
Her role. I'm gonna know why. But me understand to a level because of a feed them narrative. And again, me ask a question: who exactly are they making this shit for? This is not for the fans, and the people who them make this shit for. Don't even watch this shit.
Yep.
Don't even watch the shit. But you are pander to people that don't even support, buy the merchandise or none of that shit. But somehow, I am wrong. Because I don't want my story completely yoked and rewritten to accommodate people who don't even know the blood clot backstory.
The biggest mistake George Lucas made was when he sold the rights to Disney.
Okay. There again, What of these companies have we don't know the conversation that we had with Disney before.
True. But
man can tell us that after, get the car, not worry about it. It's in a good hands. Directly, he did not tell you what his intentions was to do with the car. And you don't know what film version of taking care of the car is. You don't know if I'm going to cut off the roof or cut it or you have no idea. But
fair point.
So you
really fair point.
So a man can tell you what you want to hear.
But the signs are written upon the wall still. I mean, Disney isn't what it used to be. Hasn't been for a long time. I'm trying to remember the last good animated Disney film I watched. God damn. You know it's bad when you have to rack your brain to find that shit.
There you go.
I'm going to have to go off on a tangent and say the last good one I watched was Brave. That was so long ago. God damn.
I mean, Frozen wasn't bad, per se. I'll give them that though. Frozen wasn't
Which
bad,
one?
but Frozen.
Yeah, all right. Mentally, the reason why I personally have an issue with Frozen, the same narrative what they might try. Like, all right, I appreciate that they try to break the trend of the whole. You can't fall in love with a man just because he tells you everything you want to hear. I mean, that was a very, unique touch coming from Disney of all things.
It's also attacking the damsel in distress, something where I'm confused. It's like Disney made its fortune off of the whole damsel thing and the whole the man still
but as I said that to the Bradshaw, as I said that they attacked it in the movie, and at the end of the day, it still went back to it again. So you're like, I don't follow the script. I don't follow the script. So you're attacking yourself, but at the same time, you're still going to do the same shit. It's like you're being beaten in a relationship. You want to leave, but you still don't. It does not compute.
Let me say something too. As it relates to the Mulan and the Mulan movie. Disney as a company isn't like Disney as a brand. Not the same anymore.
Nope.
The company is what's making most of the crazy executive decisions to kiss people ass and tank and keep making bullshit movies and trying to call people girls and little boys that have wife and girlfriend relations when they're 10, 11 years old. And I ask the same question. Tell me, what sense does it make to teach little boys and girls to want to have boyfriend girlfriend relation? I understand being friends at a tender age. Boyfriend girlfriend relationship not supposed to talk to you anyway from like 15 or 16. But
and even then that's still so.
Yeah, even then that shit's still too young for some people. But even then we would have even shown a little concession to it. You understand? But yeah. But now we're in a day and age where you're being told as a father, if you don't allow your daughter to date, you're toxic. What?
No, okay.
No, none of that. You're toxic. You don't allow her out. The minute you allow her out and she get raped, where were you to protect her? What? You can't win.
The wrath of God would be indulged in them.
You're gonna have people who are single mothers who dash for them baby father. I go tell you about how you're trash. You have your family. I tell you about how you're trash. Yeah. Your own wife would tell you you're trash too.
T.I., the rapper T.I., right? T.I. has
a dog. Oh Lord.
He has an agreement with his teenage daughter. If as long as she stays a virgin, she is going to get XXXX. Quite frankly, I see nothing wrong with that. Gentlemen, if your daughter is conscious and can make a conscious decision as relates to relation or relation issues, and I won't lie. I mean, to some people, like, oh, that's because even Planned Parenthood was on Twitter and was attacking T.I. I was like, an organization that's pro-death, I criticize a father to be a blood clot father. Make sure that in 16 or 17-year-old daughter now fuck down the place. I make him a bad father. Well, fuck that shit. I'm a bad father, but I'm going to be a bad father too. I'm sorry. I refuse to blood clot cater. I'm telling you, I've seen what pandering to people can do to children.
Yep.
It's fucked up. Especially when that child has been raised by the internet. And y'all wonder why 8-year-old, 9-year-olds, and 10-year-olds know about fucking all manner of tongue action. And again, times are different. Most kids never, back in my day, most kids never understand sex and them argument until they reach like
You're
11.
you're letting me realize how innocent my kids are.
Yes, yes, they are. And them fortunate you have a mother like you because we're talking about people who don't watch their children. People, when them reach home, them hand them child a tablet, and that is it. The
No,
pandemic
sir.
was the first.
Mm-mm. My
Bro,
kids gotta wash plates,
yo,
spread bed, sweep.
No, you have no idea. You have no
yo,
idea. The
look
pandemic
here.
was the first time
Brother.
people meet their children.
And there was a time I would worry about people saying that it's child abuse to give my kids chores at such a young age.
No, no, hell no. Right now, quite frankly, me wait until Andrea in a 4. Me gonna start teach her the process of getting an article self-dressed. You must be mad. And then from there, so you move from one thing to the next. After,
That is it.
the only downside, me see, is that she born in America. We want to get a little basin with our panty them and a fucking washing brush.
Yeah, you know,
I
Dara actually
love it.
loves doing that. I am
Love it.
surprised. I
Yeah,
did
but
not expect it.
all right.
I
And that's
expect whining and complaining like Elisha, because Elisha whines and complains. But Zara does it willingly.
because agreeableness, one in women, one, and disagreeableness, two. That's why Elisha whined. No, right?
I mean, that's facts though.
Yeah, men normally are disagreeable, even at a young age. You know, girls, and this is why, and then, we're branded as misogynistic. You hate women. Oh, you guys are sexist. You must not love your mother. My mother got the better end of a bad situation. My mother was raised to be a wife. And when she met my father, she already had a kid. She gave that
Yeah.
nigga 4 more kids. Anybody doesn't realize what woman is. The woman is a G. The woman is a G, and most people don't even understand what she did. You understand? First off, back in those days, having a trade, was like having a degree. So my father had a trade in welding. He had a trade in masonry. He had a trade in a whole heap of things. Damn. Yeah. Man had a trade in a whole heap of things. My mother weigh our situation. This guy likes me. This guy is conscious that I have a child. And back in those days, that would have been the best possible outcome she could ever get. And instead of being, oh, I'm independent, I don't need no, you must be ras mad. My mother stroked my father's ego so good. That man would have given that woman him shirt. Oh, conception, right? You believe that fuck make man get woman what them want. Let me tell you something. And she upon a panel is supposed to know this because she's no idiot. If
Oh,
you
you're clarifying some things for me now.
yeah,
Yes, because I wondered why certain people are so attached to me, and you just explain it to me there because I encouraged, stroked the ego.
I mean, yeah. Man, if a man
and
they hear things that they never hear before. What you mean?
Walana, and outside of my mother, you were probably the second, or probably well, outside of my family, you were probably the first female that I've ever seen exude femininity, which was weird because just like how them say, a woman knows a real man when she sees him, even if she can't describe him, but she can point him out. Get what that means? She can tell a real man even though she don't know him just by him actions and so. That one is a real one. Same way a man can look on a woman and say, oh shit, that's female there. Oh yeah. This is why men gravitate to a feminine woman. And and just like you said earlier, now that I think about it, this puts lots of things that I did back then into perspective. Cause even I was out of my fucking mind. Was like, why the fuck am I going to this female's house? Yeah, eventually I did question my shit, and then
Don't we all at one point in our life, brother?
yeah, but even so, if I was doing this according to tradition, I was doing this the wrong way. And it's fucked up because my mother was the one who told me. Which is weird because women read situations way better than men. My mother read the situation which I was in too thoroughly. And then the whole stubbornness of being a man chipped in. I was disagreeable.
Yep.
He told me. He told me what I saw and chose not to. I chose to ignore it. So women can read women way better than a man can read a bumbleclad woman. So again, gents, and even though we're not talking about relationships, if you want to know if a chick is serious about you, get your home girl or a home girl of yours. If she don't even want a girl, meet her. Just make sure they're near on one on a conversation. She will tell you if this chick feeling you, not feeling you, she'll use you. You understand me? No disrespect in this day and age. Men aren't the men they used to be. Most men can't read signs. Most men can't get when a girl don't feel him. You understand?
You know, I said the same thing to Kemar. Like, he had a crush on someone close to me, and I was like, don't do it. No matter what, don't confess your feelings because you're going to seem weak in that moment. Don't do it. No matter how you're feeling, don't do it. She will not feel you the same way. Trust me. He thought I was hating on him, and he did it. He did it. Got crushed. I was like, that's what I was trying to avoid, you know, because you don't want his self-esteem to continuously getting crushed. Because we see what he went through. Didn't want him to go through any more of that. Wanted to give him a win, but he didn't listen.
Most men don't. Even the signs are there, cause let me tell you this. He knows. He's stupid. He knows. He knew. Let me tell you something. Just as much as they may say
to this day, he said I was being a hater for telling him not to do it.
That's his stubbornness. That's the lack of accountability fucker we were talking about earlier. So somehow you are wrong for telling him the right thing to do. That's lack of accountability. So I mean, them say, oh, red flags are always there. Everybody, no matter what it is. Push themselves, whatever the circumstances. I am not a underfucker, but such is life. I hate when people use other bullshit reasons to ignore what them do wrong. And that's how, I mean, them live in a state of delusion. And this shit we are chat about for the longest while. Delusion. As far as I'm concerned, you're the reason why I never get that. That is probably one of the wickedest cop out I ever fucking hear. Yeah, ever.
Yeah, this is right.
Men read the situation different. If a man told him that, probably he wouldn't have went there. Which to me is kind of stupid because
trust me. Nick did tell him to forget it either. It was just plain stubbornness. I was sat him down and I said, come on, Trust me. Listen to me. She not gonna feel you that way. She don't feel you that way, no. Right now, she looking at you as like a little brother or a brother. It not gonna happen.
And when Jack give him a consolation prize, I'm lie down in bed, dog, ignore it. And Jack give him a consolation, a good looking consolation prize. And people say, God don't blood clot, look out for them. Suck them, mama. Perfect example.
No, so me not coming because at one point that they happened to me and I that shit reached me too. Yeah, I didn't do shit, so that's why I'm kind of zip it. Yeah.
I mean,
can't judge a man if you've been in the same exact situation and do the same exact shit, you know. Me have to humble myself, you know.
I mean,
but I will say it. I will say this.
When the situation presented itself, the only reason why the female never get fucked up because the little brother just wouldn't say the fuck out. Again, moving on. But you, I'm sorry, doctor. Don't take it the wrong way. I really am not judging you.
Bro, you're going to say anything and I'm just going to laugh about it. So late on me.
I'm trying not to. I'm really trying. I don't want to lay into you because it might hurt a bit. I won't.
I'm ready.
I know you are.
I'm ready.
See me money. Ready for me money. Ready for me money. Yeah, I'm tell you something. I'm not gonna disrespect nobody. I mean, sex is awesome and all. I mean, great mood changer. All for things, all for benefits. You know, good workouts and all. But the older I'm getting, I realize the way how man used to willing to jump over a gunshot and climb over a zinc. Yes, I climb a zinc fence supposed to already, so I don't know how I did it, but I did it. Proud of myself, but never gonna do that again. So, I'm telling you this. It sounds funny, but I used to say the same shit about certain man. Some man, you idiot. Who the fuck gonna do that? And look for me that night. And I'm glad there was nobody no see me. I'm glad somebody never record me. Bumbo class that die from embarrassment. Maybe my cocky could have stand up that night there. Oh my God.
Wow.
The memories.
Wow.
Yo, all that funny, you know. And the funniest thing about all of that same night is, you see, after all of the maths and calculus I had to do to not get my shit chopped, cut, or severed off, and I finally reached into the domain, female was sleeping. And I was like,
wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All that max effort for just 10% of power.
No, you don't get it. It was max effort for possible pussy. Bomber clad. I was waiting to fucking Well, and if I can't get into the premises, I'm gonna fuck the person through the fucking fence. Or fuck them with I wish I could fuck them with my man. But it's not like that. Yeah, that shit makes sense. All right, well, how the cocktail gonna read?
I don't think that is super. You see, if superpowers was to exist, I think that's the one superpower I personally would ban from existence. Absolutely not.
So, Kemuma.
I was watching The Boys and I saw one suit do that.
Hold on. Pause. You pass through it. You doctor. Why would you ban that power?
What do you mean why? Because people like you exist. People like Dario exist.
Your 30-odd female co-worker.
Speaking of, I've been wanting to say this for quite some time, but I didn't. I was trying very hard not to be an asshole tonight.
Wow.
I wanted to ask, why was the narcissistic masochist so quiet today?
I'm asleep.
Yeah, niggas out cold like ice water. Oh,
wow.
Ignore doctor what he's about to say because you cut him. Ignore what he's about to say. But otherwise from that, hell
Hold
yeah.
hold the phone. What I was about to say?
No. Well, I mean, technically, it never come out, so I don't consider that
You
as a
mean it
count.
never come out? There was nothing I was going to say.
Right.
Oh. I see where this is going. Oh, so you just think I go at every opportunity to just land? Okay, I see where this is going.
But I mean, no, not necessarily. It's just that what I said was really foul, and because she attacked, she never hear what I said, but she a freak too.
I heard.
She'll
I
probably
heard
do the
it.
same thing too. She'll probably do the same thing.
I definitely.
See?
There's no question.
Told you. I know her.
Oh God, it would be so much fun.
What? Oh my God. No, you say, remember, I know, remember. You can do this to any woman. Doesn't matter any man for that matter. You know, yeah. So if you swing both ways, you can do it to both. Oh my God. Yo. There was one movie that I saw that in. One movie. The guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, he actually made that movie where he was in Las Vegas and partying hard with his friend them, and he woke up in the middle of the desert in a suit of Roman armor. Don't know how he got there.
I think I know this movie. I just can't remember it properly.
So on his way walking to the Nevada desert, he saw the highway, a girl pick him up. And the mask guy, he's heading back to the strip. She said, yeah. So him jumping on the passenger side, and the truck was driving, and dog eyes are up and down, and you know, we're men. Visual, and dog start talking, and made with him that door. Everything with the dog do. You know what I'm saying in head. The girl start react as if the man will do it. The man will feel her up, dog will do everything all at once. Oh,
I would have fun with that superpower. I swear to God.
The man do it until the girl orgasm in the chair, and she stop the vehicle. Then she turned to him and say, you must have done that. The man said, what? Me? What are you talking about? He said, yo, nothing happens. She said, I've been driving for hours, sir. Been driving for hours. Never feel any urge. Literally play with myself in front of a guy. Ever. I'm on top of it. Play with myself till I orgasm. So the dude is like, the only thing you did wrong was that, you know, you're a sexy woman and all that. They start to think about you, and, you know. And to say, is that real? So do it again, man. Here. You did it. And like, wow, that's amazing. And she slapped him. She said, now give me another orgasm. And she laid back, and then she adjust back her seat, and dog used a mind on her. And climax her a few times when she finally reached to Nevada strip, the hotels and stuff. She kissed him and gave him her number. And his friend's like, whoa, how does a dork like you get a girl like that to like you? And it's like, and him look on the guy, he was thinking evil things, but none never happened. So him realize, oh, it must be something inclined with the female anatomy. But that movie did happen. But if I got that power, oh my God, things I would do.
They would have lucky.
The people I would torture over the fucking phone.
They would have to lock it. They would have to lock you up like how they lock up Superman.
First off, you'd have to prove it first, bitch. We have to prove it.
Prove it. I think you yourself alone go be the proof. Trust me.
Do that. I'm gonna do something.
Thing.
Generate shit. Oh shit! Yo.
Hmm?
Every freshman, female freshman. Oh God help them. Come on, I can admit to myself I'm a monster, yo. I don't know, damn. And you can call me toxic as much as you want. Because if you hear bump in the fucking night, you don't want a story boy to jump up and go, oh my God, honey, I think someone's in here. How do you operate this thing again? Well, I want a man like me to draw the gun and say, yo, you stay low, call the police, and hold on upon that gun in your pocket and make sure say, if you don't see my silhouette come back in here, and come in, that is not me, start press. That's how a manly man takes charge. So all I you do, how sympathize it, get over it. No matter what them can't write man out of blood clot. It's impossible. Soft men don't want the hard jobs. Who the hell can do it?
I know, right?
So look at this shit. So you're telling you're telling mothers to their sons to be emotionally aware and acute and down within yourself. You couldn't want him and you know your daughter never want him. Why would you tell the people them to remove the masculinity all the time? That's just dangerous. That's the thing. That's the nothing about that. Nothing. And then I challenge anybody to step forward and prove to me that there's a benefit of removing the masculine out of men. Emotionally charged individuals does not help society. It doesn't. You need a man who can keep him cool in a bad situation. So, give me if this hurt people feelings. I don't give a damn. If you want my wife to be a part of the vetting process, we have to meet the man because a man can pretend so well, especially because they have, no offense, single mothers who teach their sons how tend to be the men that they used to fuck and never want them. I don't care. Fuck that.
Not
Well,
not this one.
again, you're a unicorn. Again, when I speak, you know, Anna, you don't fall in this category, unfortunately.
That's a she's a unicorn to us.
She's a unicorn. You know it. She knows it. She
The
knows it.
rarest breed amongst.
Nigga, she's a diamond in the rough. But I don't know. I don't know. But so be it. But I'm saying this,
How far off have we gone?
not really that far. Because I was about to.
Very far. Very far.
Not quite. Oh, by the way, they're editing. This is one of the points I'm going to bring up. They're editing white, redhead women out of traditional white movie roles. I don't know why. If you've been paying attention, recently someone did a list pointing out all the different movies that redhead girls were that they replaced with a black girl. Ariel is a redhead, no black girl. Annie from It's a Hard Knock, like redhead.
Oh my gosh, I just realized it. Wow.
So she's a black girl now. And the little girl Claudia were coming in the interview with a vampire. She has an afro of golden curls.
The hell?
Yeah. No, but curly hair, but remember I know. Hairstyles and people declaring that race was attached to hairstyles never existed. There were dreadlocks was a hairstyle back then. It wasn't culture. It wasn't a quote unquote cultural appropriation back then.
No, because back then nobody gave a fuck about anybody's feelings. Today we have to keep in account everybody's fucking feelings.
Culture. Yeah, and this is when I realized this is when I explained to somebody in Mikasa. He said this was why Rome fell. This was why Rome fell. They tried to pander to a lot of people that knew nothing about what they were pandering towards. So women became politicians and They had a voice in war. This is something that women have never done. Waging war. So people who don't know nothing about war, I tell people who have been pretty much conquering the whole world for like generations, you come in and tell him, say, I don't think we should march that direction. We should do this and this and this. So
What the hell?
exactly the same thing that's happening to America. History repeats itself many times in different ways. Why do you think Rome? That's the main reason why Rome fell. Rome was being split into multiple fractions. Them people are practicing a different thing. Them people are practicing something different. Them people are practicing something different. And no, there was no unity. So that's how it truly fell. Rome imploded on itself. It exploded, imploded on itself. Enough people don't know that. The same kind of faith right now work towards how America approach things. America stagger itself to implode on itself too.
I thought that would have happened a long time ago.
No, right? I thought so too. But well, here we are. In our next year, 2022, and most people now hate white people. Which is funny because since I've been here, the most racist remarks and racist undertone and feel within thyself, a man and woman who look like me treat me so. That's the fuck up thing is about all of this. When I came to America, I thought white people look at me like a nigger. Well, that.
I didn't think that.
I didn't think that first. I'm just saying.
Goddamn nigger.
Yeah, one so yo, I was out niggered a while ago, and I will not be out niggered again. Anyways.
You said what? I'm going to edit that. I'm going to edit it.
Anyways. So yeah. Now especially in the movie system now, like for example, this movie is bound to fail. It's gonna fail upon man not say it'll fail. Then again, it's a movie or it's a series.
Oh God, please don't let it be a series. Oh Lord.
I believe are two things I'm gonna do. Hold on.
It's gonna be a slow destruction.
Thank you.
Hold on.
That whole storyline should never be a series. You know, like I'm saying, you have certain works of art, Van Gogh, Mona Lisa, you just don't fucking touch. Exactly.
That's something you shouldn't touch.
Okay, so the Interview with a Vampire is a movie, and there is a series that they're making based off of a book that Anne Rice wrote, Mayfair, which is
okay.
But yeah, the Interview with a Vampire is going to be a box. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a box office hit, but it's going to be a box office bomb as far as I'm concerned.
People tell something. This is not just getting up and hating on something that black people are attached to. I can't stress that enough. I would have had the same feeling if the people who they made race up was Asian. If the man was Jewish, I the same reaction them would have get. It's not because they're black. I swear to God, and people understand. If they made the person Russian, pretty much you put in a square block in a round hole. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Even the sex, the cock is somewhat, cylindrical for going at the hole. It's not a square cock you're going at the post. You know what?
Yes. I'm glad I didn't have to say nothing.
Essentially what he's trying to say, not every race of every character can play certain roles.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Close. You are close. All I was trying to say is it doesn't matter the race. If the source material is good, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Source material makes sense. And again, I am not against remastering, where it makes sense to remaster it.
Yes, because even the historical fact about it that you brought up earlier,
Mm-hmm.
it really wouldn't make sense. The story where the storyline was going.
I can name a few movies that absolutely were detestable that need a definite remaster in our life still. Oh boy, there are so many. The entire last part of the Star Wars trilogy, yeah man, every part of that shit remastered.
I didn't watch it.
Well, I know the whole of season 8 for Game of Thrones. Yes, I would like that shit to be redone all over again. Scrap the whole. Well, I know. By right, let me take that back. I would have scrapped from season 6, 7, and 8. Met them 3 fucking seasons back over. I'm just saying.
Vampire Diaries and Twilight, yeah man, scrap that whole lot of that shit and remake it. Scrap the entire thing.
Well, I'm saying,
it's funny how the director of Twilight actually said that they took their inspiration from Anne Rice and you still can't see it. I look for it and can't find it.
I see because I've read the book. The whole shimmering fuckery. I guess they edit that part because them don't want it to be too much like into with Anne Rice's version of it. But in essence, if you've ever watched The Queen of the Damned, when Lestat wakes up and him see the sun shining on him, and he rolled over like, I should be dead. He should be dead. He should implode upon himself. But,
true.
But
yo.
Hold on. That's just a movie. The book says that when a vampire reaches
I'm so sorry. I just remembered something that would probably bring outrage to most people. Does anybody remember True Blood?
Wow.
Yep. I remember it.
Oh my god.
No, you know the worst part about True Blood?
It's an interesting abomination.
I mean, it had potential, but I
said it was an interesting abomination.
They fucked it in the ass. They fucked it sideways.
Yep. And it didn't even put on lube before it fucked it. That is.
You too. Wow.
This is us, believe it or not. We're not even.
We're not live, are we?
You mean? What do you mean? I never said we stop recording. What?
I mean, I know we're not monetized yet, but there's a good chance it will be demonetized when it's finally monetized. When it's finally monetized,
this is not the one that's going to demonetize us. I know the one that's going to demonetize us. The very first video we posted on YouTube. That one is going to demonetize us.
Yeah, I know you weren't here when it happened, but there was this one video where you were talking about, how ugly girls have lost their shit to the point they feel like they can size up with. Well, I don't know. They feel like they can size up with blood clot man. So I made a comment that I had to threaten this man about. And
yes.
Yeah.
This man
one thing I know for sure is
this man compared the people with ugly daughter to a foot, and the way the man described it, I'm like, this is that. Wow.
I did not say that. I did not say. I remember what I said. I said, what's that? You say, with everything said, you act like you're better than man. I say, hey, my potted plant look better than you. Who the fuck are you, bitch?
Stop laughing.
Even my
it's very insensitive to ugly people.
Who the fuck are you? Yeah. Somewhere.
But, a great fix for an ugly person is makeup. But for a man, it's
absolutely
money.
Absolutely not.
No, wait. You have some people that can actually work voodoo with their makeup.
Yeah.
I have seen some girls who let's just say them not look too righted. And when them apply the so-called makeup to them face, Casper the friendly ghost would like to have a word.
I say a woman that look like she in her 60s, no teeth. So, you know, so her head well gummy. But moving on, right? You see that woman apply makeup to her shit. And when she done and she put in her fast teeth them. This woman look like she had 22 years old. No, but she had a decent body, so she had a decent body but a whole human face. No teeth in her head. No top row.
That's the strange thing about old people. Some of them, the body, like the body don't age with them face.
Yep. Like you, for example.
Wow. Shots fired.
So.
You need to clarify because
I hate you. You need
to clarify. Please clarify. Please clarify.
Something, my boy.
Please clarify because people are misunderstanding you. Please clarify.
Slide under the radar. What exactly I do wrong?
You had to announce the shots, bro. May she take the 22 on the you know that gunshot when the liquor. There.
Listen, make she just take the silence and shoot herself. Right, cool, sorry.
No, she knew she got shot. But anywho, you just had to blow it.
I have no problem with comments about me being old because I know that I still look young.
Yes, you do.
People still mistake me for an 18-year-old. So my boss complains about it every day. I look like a kid. I dress like a kid.
You sound like a kid.
I sound like a kid. I don't know. I can't change anything about that.
The only thing about her that is not like a kid.
Yeah. This is a sponsor for our glass.
Her max game is impervious. What did you think I was going to say?
Nothing else. If the last time you threatened me on a podcast is anything to go by, yes, I know you, and I know myself.
I'm not going to kill you.
Listen to me. You say that doesn't make it any better.
True that. I get that one.
There is one thing about the whole Twilight series that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. And it was a whole imprint thing that they brought in the latter part of the show, the movie series. I'm like, there's just so much wrong with it. Like, you know how uncomfortable I was when I saw that shit?
Elaborate.
Alright, so essentially the whole imprint is that he's supposed to protect her by all means necessary, should be there for her, but he's going to be there, her protector and all that shit, right?
Yeah. This was how it used to be back in the day when women used to be virgin. When a man used to touch, go on.
At the same time,
they painted it differently.
No, there was a choice, right?
No, the imprint
was living choice.
A man.
Your conscious choice, but the way them put it in the whole movie, you ain't got no choice, nigga.
Fuck.
So even if she managed to fuck an next man, and you not agree to that shit, you can't do nothing about that. Fuck you and your feelings. And I'm just looking at it and I'm just like,
normally is the more dominating one imprints, you know. Women don't normally imprint on men like that. Women can have an imprint on men, but women don't normally imprint on men. You understand? Like a certain person coming in your life, them leave an imprint. But when them go to them way to really change your life, they have imprinted on it. You get the difference? There is a difference, you know. Like, first can be a friend, share the same interests, and they left an impression or an imprint on you as a friend. Then you have the sexual kind. They want to, become more than just friends, kind of imprinting, which people immediately think of sex, which no, but it is a form of imprinting too. I mean, if you dig her down right way, the first way, she remember for the rest of her life. Married and kids. Hold on, you think woman
you did this to me and you think you can leave?
as long as you blow, as long as right? Long as you blow
special kind of dick to make a woman crazy.
Yo, as the words of the great, I don't want to fuck you like a jail me come from. Me will fuck you like a jail me. I feel away enough. You don't believe sex is supposed to be boring. I'm sorry. Fuck that shit.
Hold on.
No, let's say my mantra when it comes to, and again maybe this is why I know I'm gonna have a really nice sex life. I believe
going to?
No, as in for the rest of my life. Shit. I'm going to the airport. I'm going to the shit. Let's fix the missile fuck. Fuck this one. Seven to missile fuck. As long as he will stand up, me will use him.
I'm holding off on working out because working out it's like Viagra for me.
Just like all that subtle pause of silence was just in the air, and I'm just there, just processing that thought. And just like, I get it.
Good motherfucker. I was hoping I'd never have to explain what the hell she just said. Oh, thank God. Yo, when she said it, I smiled. They can't see it, but even within me know what she meant. I was just hoping you understood what she meant.
Good times.
Good times. My kind of people. By the way, so I'm curious now. So in the book, again, the little girl Claudia, she did take a woman and convinced her that she was going to make her a vampire. So she wanted an eternal mother because she was forever alone because Louis died her when she was like 8.
Oh, we're talking about the little psychopath?
Yeah, see. The smooth chip doctor. He's one of the worst somebody to buck you. First off, he disarms you because she looks like a child. Second, when she does approach you, she goes the whole innocent route. And that whole protector shit women love though. This is why she picks on young boys and pretty much young men. So me and you me wouldn't get fucked. Me at 35. Me not find that this lady crossroad, young miss. Try she. Nope, I'm good. You try that lady. You know, life has taught us there. Like the guy from Blacklist when a little white girl was in the elevator and he froze. It was like, wow. And he makes you go back down the elevator. Yep. Yeah, so the man father in the business and the man say, yo, you say, look, a white girl coming at the elevator and just take off your hat and walk out. I don't take him hat off and walk out. I'm like, wow. Good stuff. But yeah, she convinced Louis to make somebody into a vampire. And this is probably the first and the only time in the entire book that Louis actually made someone into a vampire. Only one. And when the Council of Vampires found out that Claudia was involved in Lestat's attempted murder, oops, for those of you who don't read the book, I'm sorry, but may I spill a little of the tea. So that same as Trudy said, that little monster, she crucified, she tried to kill Lestat because the life of a vampire is more of like Prey and Master. Lestat was the master, but Lestat didn't know much more than him was leading on. And all he had to do was hold them with empty threats. That's all he had, empty threats. If you don't do this, you'll swear, you'll regret it. You know that guy. So he orchestrated a plan that even a man of as long as Lestat couldn't get it from. Lestat like young boys. Not the way you think. He liked young boys because it brought him back to the time in his life where he had the most potential. That was when he became a vampire. He was a teenager. And our teenage early, he was I think 21, 22, or 19, when he got snatched up and became a vampire.
A true immortal.
Yeah, but he forever resented. He grew with a level of resentment because he never grew to truly live a man's life. You know?
But that's the same thing that happened with Claudia.
Pretty much. You see? That's the irony of all of this. No, but here's the only difference though. The guy who turned Lestat into a vampire actually made provisions for Lestat. For Claudia, yes, there was provisions for Claudia. But for Louis, there was none. There really was none. Lestat just needed somebody who was rich, that he could take his sick, dying father and have money to take care of him. So he picked out Louis because Louis was the most depressed, and there wasn't many men in the family like that, you know. It was Louis and his mother and his sister and him, pretty much the deranged brother before he died. Spoiler again, the brother died. In the book, the brother died. But Lestat picked Louis not because Louis was the best choice. He picked Louis because Louis was close and Louis was more vulnerable. He didn't pick Louis because a love or a longing to be with him. No. He picked him because he was rich. There wasn't many people in his household, and it would be easy picking for Lestat. That's what
have
he did.
uses.
Hmm?
He has his uses.
Yeah,
use that well.
That's exactly what Louis. And by the way, Lestat is a prick, just like in the actual Interview the Vampire movie in the 90s. So him talk to Brad Pitt like he's less than, and you ungrateful wretch. If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead. You'd be under someone's boot. That's exactly how Lestat talk. If you read the book, at the same way. He scowls at people. Once they challenge, he's a narcissist. The easiest way to describe Lestat is a narcissist. Lestat is a narcissist.
I mean, anytime there's material on vampires that are written, vampires usually live some of the most unhappiest lives. I don't think I can find a single written novel by anyone who has written that has a vampire who has lived a long life of wonderfulment and fulfillment. No, brother. Get both.
Because if you think about it, nobody wants to die, but at the same time, when
nobody know how to live so long.
Yeah, you've lived and fulfilled.
All right. Better yet, not
all your deepest, darkest desires.
You are the only immortal in your family, right? You're the only immortal in your family. You just watch all your loved ones just pass by and not age a day. You know how depressing that shit is?
Louis buried his sister and his mother. But his sister grew to be an old age, and he took care of her in the back first, where she had a husband, and Louis visited him at the night as a vampire, and he threatened him ass before, and I respect that. Even in death, even as a bloodsucker, he cared about his sister. Even she a big 50 and big fat at the time she was what? Well, then again, this is back in the day. She got married at 19. So, she
I
had four
remember
kids.
that part.
Yeah, she got married at 19, got like 4 kids, and Louis make sure says she secure all the way to her deathbed. She never wanted nothing. And that was like, that's a real move, you know? And Louis get a husband a blood clot piece of shred. Louis threatened him shit.
Yeah, his daddy raised him right.
Louis threatened him rough, yo. May I tell you, like, the threat was so heartfelt. I mean, know Louis meant, and then again, people need to understand this. A man knows when a man mean what he must say. Yeah? You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And that dude knew Louis would fucking kill him. He knew Louis would fucking kill him. I'm like, well, I want to make sure you take care of my sister to her last breath. If, yeah, pretty much, if you could have paraphrased, if your blood clot fuck yourself, oh, best believe, my boy, you will see me. Believe that. Believe that.
You will blood clot dead.
Right. The Jamaican, pretty much. Yeah, you'll blood clot dead. Fuck yourself, you'll find out.
Yo, Jamaican threats are on different levels still.
Yo,
What?
up here, them say, oh, you haven't been cussed out. You know, them say, you haven't truly been cussed out until a Jamaican woman cussed you out. Yeah, you haven't truly been cussed out until a Jamaican woman cussed you out.
Drunk.
Not even dirty blood clot, junker, dog shit, pussy hole. And the words them string so easy. And you're like, wow. If you were this fluent in English, bitch, you'd actually have a career or something. I'm, I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Am I wrong though? Am I wrong?
I have nothing to say.
The creativity. Yo, have you ever been this so bad that you're like, that one ain't that half bad? I even had to comment like, yo, that shit. Yo, how did you think of that one? How did you think of that one? Again, you haven't truly been cussed out until a Jamaican woman cussed you out. And that's something up here. So, but, I, far as I'm concerned, just like what them did with Stanley, and by the way, the reason why the Marvel movies, especially Stanley made became ultra. But yeah, by the way, Mary Jane was a redhead. Now she's being played by what's her call again? Zendaya.
Yeah.
So another one being edited out of the whole the word of
But
God.
at least they had a good excuse for this one. It was a different universe.
Here.
So at least they had an excuse.
And if credit must be given, Zendaya actually is a decent actor. So I mean, credit where it's due.
So that they escaped that because of that.
You know, funny enough, still the OG trilogy are my favorite. I'm not care what nobody wants to say.
Honestly, oh yeah, we're at about
no, me just said my personal preference. I know a lot of people like to say, why you name what play Spider-Man these days? What name again?
Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland.
No. Yeah, Tom Holland. No, everybody like for prison. I thought, whoa, he's special and he does his own action skills, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Tobey always go be the original Spider-Man no matter what for me.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, yeah.
Yo. Hold on. Did Ratchet just say I'm biased?
Of course you are.
Am I wrong though?
I guess not. I mean,
no. All right.
Look at it this way.
No, hold on. Let me explain where I'm coming from. Tom Holland looks like the guy who you think. All right, Tom Holland reminds me of Scott McCall. This nigga is not a nerd. He's not. You can't. Nobody can ever say, look at Tom and you say, dork. When you look at Tobey Maguire, nigga looks like he hasn't eaten, slept. Man, look, I say him not even take a shit in the last 5 days. The man looks horrible. And that was what was so endearing when he became Spider-Man. It's like you could have related to, nigga have it rough. Tom Holland looks like he live in a condo. All right. I could even use the in-universe details, right? Tobey Maguire Spider-Man knew no one. This motherfucker knows Tony Stark, the literal man who leads the Avengers when Cap is not around. Zine?
I better yet the real leader for the Avengers, but keep it moving.
Yeah, we're not going down that rabbit hole, please.
It was though. I mean, he built the building. He made the upgrades to the suits. He pretty much had better communication with everybody. And then Captain America. Captain America was more like the goddamn poster boy, my boy. He wasn't really that much of.
I thought Tony was the leader.
It's not like Cap ever said he was the official leader. People just kept on saying he was.
Cap was the reason why they gave Cap leader, quote unquote leader, amigo, as I call it, figurehead puppet president, is because he was the very first Avenger. He was the very first one. That's why they gave it to him. That's all. And every story reiteration, unless then decide to say, forget everything you know about Marvel Comics. Why would everybody say that shit? All of a sudden, you're supposed to forget everything that I grew up watching and reading. I hate when people do that shit. How would that make sense? That's term of a comic. People who are about the inclusion don't watch these movies.
But we hear your crickets more than we can hear you.
Not my crickets, goddammit.
I don't think it's mine either. So. Well, yeah. That's just my personal thing. I know a lot of people like to shit on the third movie out of the original series, but I'm like, it's kind of the point. Peter is trying to be someone he's not.
Yeah, I wondered so much what the real issue was.
No, people are just talking about how 3 were straight from what real Spider-Man is. I'm like, the comics literally went off of what Tobey Maguire did in the OG series, technically speaking, Zine.
Yep.
First one, he was learning the trade of what it meant to, why Uncle Ben really meant about great power, Zine. 2, that was the whole Doc Ock thing, who went on to be one of his greatest rivals ever. The entire comic series later ended with Doc Ock anyway, Zine. And 3 literally introduced the Venom symbiote. And Peter acted as anybody else would when you're an arrogant bastard. You're not going to do a shit, but nobody says, I'm going to do what I want when I want. That's good shit right there. But because critics just love talking so much shit. I'll go so far to say, even the first Ghost Rider movie that they made, the critics shit on that movie so badly. I was just like, it's not that serious.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was really decent. I really liked it.
I don't think there's another actor who can portray. Yeah, man.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's checking.
No, as I said, I don't think there's another actor out there who can portray how the craziness of that first transformation. Like,